is Professor Theoceratops, and may I introduce you to Digging Deeper Bite-Sized. Oh, hello, and welcome to another episode of Digging Deeper Bite-Sized. I am very, very happy to know that you're watching this episode right now. As I speak, you are listening to my voice. How cool is that? Now, young pups, today I am simply going to answer a question. It is a fantastic question. Now, my question today comes from Talia at 10:30. Now, Talia, you asked this question. You said, what does it mean to share in the sufferings of Christ? Now, Talia, that is a fantastic question. Now, I'm guessing that question comes from the verse Romans chapter 8 verse 17. So how about everyone pause the video and have a quick look at that verse. Did you have a look at the verse? Now, my favourite questions, can I just say quickly, is to get questions that are ones where we don't quite understand what the Bible is saying. So we ask, what does this mean? So Talia, I love your question. Well done, young one. Now, to answer your question, you see, what does it mean to share in the sufferings of Christ? Well, as we know, when Jesus came to earth, he suffered and he died. Now, people who trust in the Holy Spirit, people who trust in Jesus get the Holy Spirit. And what happens is we are joined to Jesus. But the problem is, even though Jesus has gone back to heaven, we are still here on earth. And what this verse is saying is that anyone who has been joined to Jesus will suffer just like he did when he came. You see, the reason that Jesus suffered was because the people who hurt and who killed him and who made him suffer, you see, they didn't love God. No, in fact, they hated God, even though they would not have said that most likely. So when Jesus came, they hated him because he is God. And because they hated God, they hated Jesus. So they hurt him and they made him suffer. And eventually, they made him die, which is truly sad. Now, when we receive the Holy Spirit, when we trust in Jesus, and when we're joined to Jesus and become children of God, the people who hate God, they will start hating us too, because we are on God's team. We are joined to Him, and because everyone who isn't a Christian, they hate God because they hate God, whether they realize it or not. Just like they hated Jesus, they will hate us too. And that means that we, who are children of God, we can expect to suffer. They will hurt us. They won't necessarily whip us or nail us to a cross. Who knows, they might. But they definitely will do terrible things. All of God's children will suffer. Because people hate God, and they will hate us too as we follow Him and as we have Him living in us. Now it is really hard, and it will be really hard until we get to heaven. So, young pups, can I encourage you to be ready for it, because it will come. Keep trusting in Jesus no matter what. And remember the promises of God. Because in that verse, in verse 17 of chapter 8 in the book of Romans chapter 8 verse 17, we see that those people who suffer will also be glorified with Jesus. Did you catch that? It says, now if we are children, then we're heirs of God and co-heirs with Christ. Here we go. If indeed we share in his sufferings, in order that we may also share in his glory. Wow! We get to share in Jesus' glory in heaven forever. Can you believe that? Not that we deserve it at all. Good gracious, no. Not at all. But God is such a good God that he promises it to us. Us who trust in Jesus. We. Those whom do that. Yes, us. What a promise that is. Oh, good gracious, it is amazing. So, when it gets tough, please, young pups, remember, it is totally worthwhile trusting Jesus, no matter what. Now, Talia, I do hope that was helpful. Now, you and everybody else watching, please, remember to keep digging deeper into the Bible, even if it is just in bite-sized pieces. I am Professor Theoceratops, and Jesus, he suffered for us. Goodbye.